Today, I'm going to explain a 2019 Korean movie called The Dude in Me. A weak high school nerd student exchanges his body with the mighty gangster out of an accident. After that, things got roller coaster between them into their lives. Let's find out what exactly happened after that. On a sunny day, Jang, the mobster, stops by a ramen stall for lunch. For whatever reason, he doesn't finish his meal and immediately requests the bill. He is also required to pay for the meal consumed by a student seated next to his table. After that, he drives someplace. When he wants to cross a street, garbage collectors collect waste from the area. This renders him unable to pass through. This is where everything happens. When Jong is waiting for the garbage collectors, he gets out of the car and calls his assistant, Chul. At the same time, Kim, a high school student, stands on the rooftop's edge. Then something unexpected happens. He falls off the rooftop and collides with Jang. Both of them lost consciousness and were transported to the hospital. A moment later, Yang awakens from his unconsciousness. He gets out of bed and walks through the hall. But he realizes something is awry when everyone in the hospital refers to him as Kid or Kim. He is baffled until he notices a man lying on a bed adjacent to his room. He recognized that man as himself. When he stares in the mirror, he gets more certain that he is inhabiting a child's body. He constantly attempting to convince everyone that he's not Kim. However, nobody believes him because the doctor claims he has retrograde amnesia. He then attempts to bump this kid's body into his own body in order to switch their bodies, but he fails. And as he is doing this, Chul enters the room and becomes enraged when he sees this child doing something inappropriate. Then he is warned to stay away, or Chul will beat him. Knowing that he can't do anything to reclaim his body, Jang is forced to live as a high school student. He exists as the new Kim. When he returns to school, he experiences something new. He witnesses his friend, Hyeon, being bullied by a gang of buddies. He is even invited to fight after school. But this isn't the Kim everyone knows. This is Kim, with the heart of a mobster. He will not hesitate to bash everyone up. Jang becomes inquisitive as to why everyone treats him as a loser. So he plans to meet several bullies on a hill after school. He travels there with his pal, Jae. He asks one of the bullies if he has done anything to make them detest him. The answer is no, and the reason is simply that Jang looks like a loser. After gathering the necessary information, Jang and his friend leave the bullies. After that, Jang plans to meet with Chul and persuade him that he is his boss. He enters the office where Chul works. Chul does not believe him at first, but he understands how to gain his assistant's trust. He reveals all that no one knows about Chul, and it works. Jang then questions Chul about why he was guarding his employer in the hospital. Then Chul reveals a terrible revelation. He claims that CEO, Jang's competitor, is attempting to assassinate him. The next day after school, Jang is on the phone with Chul. At the same time, Hyeon bumps into him and drops a doll. He chooses to return it to her. When they eventually meet, a surprising event occurs. He discovers that Hyun's mother is his ex-girlfriend Seon, whom he dumped for another lady. Moments later, Jang approaches Chul for help in determining whether Hyun is his daughter. They collect Hyun and Jang's hair to test for DNA. The results show that Hyun is 99% his daughter. He begins to feel bad that he cannot be a good guy for Seon and their daughter. So he asks Chul about how he might approach Hyun and Seon. He is informed that he should change his appearance, so he intends to trim some fat and groom himself. He first invites Hyun to work out with a trainer named Chul. They had been doing martial arts and jumping rope for months. Finally, he can see the results. His body grows leaner and more youthful looking. Finally, he began to groom himself. He adjusts his hairdo and wears a soft lens, eliminating the necessity for his nerd glasses. Jong's new look appears to be beautiful. Many girls begin to like him. Hyun, at the same time, begins to garner respect from the bullies. Seon feels grateful to Jang for constantly protecting her daughter. As a gesture of gratitude, she invites Jang to her shop to have ramen. During their chat, an intoxicated man approaches Seon and slaps his private region. Jang feels so upset that he punches the inebriated guy. At that point, Seon begins to suspect him. Kim's words and deeds remind her of Jang's. That forces Jang to explain who he really is. He narrates the narrative about how he switched bodies. However, Seon does not trust him, so he attempts the same thing he did with Chul. He reveals everything he did with Seon while they were still dating. Finally, Seon believes she is speaking with the man who deserted her. Seon feels enraged. She is so upset that he hasn't looked for her in a long time. She kicks Jang out of her stall and tells him to stay away from her daughter. The next day, Hyeon is seated with Jang immediately after school. She inquires about what he was talking about with her mother. Her interest developed when her mother advised her not to meet him again. While they are discussing, a member of the student council approaches them. He invites Hyeon to his birthday party at his villa. Hyeon accepts the invitation. She is pleased that an outcast like herself can attend the celebration. At the same moment, Jang is meeting with Seon. Jang intends to apologize again for what he has done. However, Seon believes that he has no control over the situation. Seon raised Hyeon alone, and he has no right to care for her daughter. She also believes that if this body switch hadn't occurred, he would never look for her. So she chooses to leave Jang. However, when Seon approaches the exit door, Jang pursues her and kisses her right on the lips. This enrages Seon, who hits him and threatens to take him to the police. Jang receives a call from Jae as she drags him outdoors. Jae claims that Hyeon is in a horrible predicament. He was bringing dishes to girls who were not invited to the party when he overheard this. Jang instantly leaves Seon and requests that Chul provide him a car. He then drives to where the party is being hosted. There, he notices Hyeon is surrounded by lads. He can tell that Hyeon needs assistance. However, the boys refuse to let Hyeon leave because the celebration has only just begun. Jang and the boys begin to fight. Fortunately, both Jang and Hyeon have previous martial arts experience, so they can beat up all the boys and escape the property. Jang is notified by Chul that his wife is having an affair with his competition, CEO. So he sends a letter to the chairman, his wife's father. He informs the chairman that he is the victim and that his wife has conspired with another man. Suddenly, Kim awakens from his coma. Kim is now living in the gangster's body. Then he returns to his residence and meets his father, Jong. But Jong does not believe he is his son. Fortunately, Jong returns home. Jong and Kim meet for the first time since the collision. They tell Jong what has actually happened to them. Following that, they agreed to aid each other. They intend to meet Seon at her stand. When they arrive, they lie to Seon that they have switched their bodies back. But the CEO and his assistants enter the stall. They search for Jang and attempt to kill him. Jang instructs Kim and Seon to hide in the kitchen. He wants to get this problem resolved. He disputes with the CEO and his assistants. They are successful in throwing them out thanks to Seon's support. Seon forgives Jang and is eager to accept him so that she can resume her life. The chairman extends an invitation to Jang. He wants to clarify the letter he submitted. Given that Jang is the victim, he proposes Jang as his successor. But Jang, who is actually Kim at the time, refuses because he doesn't know what to say. When Jang meets Kim, he praises Jang's decision. He is happy that he will no longer have to live a regrettable criminal life. Unfortunately, his wife intends to hit them. However, Jang is aware of the situation and saves Kim, only to be hit by the automobile. He was severely hurt and rushed to the hospital. When Jang is about to die, both Jang and Kim trade bodies abruptly. At the end of the film, we see that Kim is still alive, and Jang is back with Seon. Jang even purchased a shop to construct a bakery. They all work there beside Jang and Chul. Please do hit that like button if you enjoyed the recap. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell for more movie recaps. Stay tuned for our next cinematic adventure, and until then, happy watching.